It would be easy to tell the story of Carl Jones as simply a series of extraordinary professional successes, because to some, that's what he represents. As the CEO of Regions, he helped oversee high-profile acquisitions, consolidations, and mergers that quadrupled the size of an already formidable financial institution. But to those who know him, to the thousands whose lives he took the time to touch, Carl Jones could never be defined by such limited terms. Carl was born on June 18, 1940. From very early on, Carl's life revolved around service. First as company commander at UMS Wright, then at the University of Alabama, where he was president of his fraternity, president of the School of Commerce, was active in student government, and held memberships in multiple honor societies. It was that kind of experience that landed Carl his first banking job in 1962 at Merchants National Bank in Mobile, where his commitment to service continued. A co-worker remembers Carl leading the United Way effort when he would work the shift change at the local mills at the crack of dawn, asking for contributions and explaining why the United Way was so important. Then he'd go to work at the bank, speak at a Rotary or Kiwanis luncheon later in the day, and then attend another community event that night. Carl's tireless efforts for the bank and in the community, and his desire to do things the right way, resulted in a storybook career. And quietly and inauspiciously, he was conducting his life outside the office with that same commitment to virtue. He and Anne could not have been better suited for one another. The success of their marriage and their love for each other is a testament to that. Along the way, they were able to raise 2 children with the values they shared. A daughter, Arlene, who was an all-American high jumper and finished #1 in her class at LSU. A son, Carl III, who flew Harrier jets in Operation Desert Storm and F-16s in Operation Iraqi Freedom. Time spent with their 3 wonderful grandchildren is a beautiful reminder of a job well done as parents and grandparents, as well as a reminder as to who's really the boss. It's a closeness and an involvement on a personal level. The Jones family hasn't just become a part of Regions. Everyone at Regions has become a part of the Jones family.
After traveling with Mr. Jones and others to Memphis, I had to make special arrangements for car service into the city because the car waiting for us didn't have enough room. After we landed, Mr. Jones told the others to meet him at the office, and he joined me for the cab ride into town. We had a polite conversation. He asked how my job was going and how my family was adjusting to living in Birmingham. The seemingly unremarkable gesture of sharing a 10-minute cab ride made a significant impression on me regarding our company's CEO. In Mr. Jones's eyes, there are no little people at Regions.
Of all the attributes that have shaped Carl Jones's leadership style, it's his humility that has made the biggest impression on many. He never takes credit for his corporate and community successes, preferring to remain anonymous. Like one morning near his home.
I was in the car with my husband, and we were driving to a local bakery. We passed someone walking on the sidewalk carrying a bag and picking up the trash that others had carelessly tossed out of their cars. As we passed this individual, I saw that it was Mr. Jones. I can't convey what an impact that had upon me.
It's that kind of low-profile approach that Carl has always preferred. However, he was willing to step into the spotlight anytime the company needed a spokesperson, or a leader, or a hero, or even a king. The stories of the impact Carl had on people at Regions could easily be told by those closest to him. But it's those with whom he didn't interact daily, those who he affected without even being aware of it, that lend insight into the true character of Carl Jones.
I was fortunate enough to attend a dinner at the Joneses' residence. As I drove up, I saw Mr. Jones lowering the American flag. I learned that this was a daily ritual for him, raising the flag every morning and lowering it each evening. At dinner, Mr. and Mrs. Jones spent most of their time on their feet, making sure we, their guests, were taken care of. I was very moved by my experience that night. To have a solid leader as a CEO is great for business. To have solid citizens as neighbors is great for the community. Lucky for us, we've had both.
After Hurricane Ivan, Mr. Jones toured the area, and he did more than he'll ever realize. His presence spoke volumes about the importance of our associates to our company, and his genuine concern for their well-being came through in his one-on-one conversations with so many of us.
I was on site at the Legends of Capitol Hill for the executive meeting. I think everyone remembers where they were on that day. There were several TVs in the hall of the hotel, and the executives were in session as a plane struck the first tower. All of our management recessed to watch the TVs in the hall, and as we were standing there, another plane came in and struck the second tower. As I'm sure everyone else in the country felt, there were several gasps among our leadership team. But what impressed me about that morning was Mr. Jones's reaction. He turned to another member of the executive team and asked, "Who do we have in New York? Let's find out if they're okay." His immediate concern was for our associates, and I personally think that says it all.
Carl Jones's story isn't about a man with a dream to be a successful corporate executive. It's about a man who set out to do the best job possible, in the only way he knew how, the right way. At home, at work, and in the community. It's the story of how one man had a profound effect on countless lives, both within his company and without. In the end, the legacy of Carl Jones isn't in how the company he led grew and continues to succeed, but in the way that his influence continues to touch us all.